recent months, how have things changed, and how does that make you feel?
Before we had that last bone marrow biopsy, there were a few signs, like she was quiet and she was asking more questions. So I was like, oh no, you're just overthinking it. It's normal. We just did one a few years ago. It'll be fine. And then it wasn't. And it was like the other shoe dropped.
I'm Jenny.
I'm David.
We're Cate's parents, and it was exciting when she came home. I felt like I was doing it all for the first time. Allie was a little bit older, and she was first put in the hospital when she was about 2.5 months old, and I can remember when she was being admitted having the conversation with David about what happens if she doesn't get to come home. And, you know, we've had to have that conversation several times over the years. So, I mean, there's a lot of fear involved, a lot of feeling sort of hopeless and clueless. We learned that she was extremely anemic. She was hospitalized on, I think, a Thursday. And her levels were so low that they told us that by the weekend she probably would have started to have strokes. And so we just felt very lucky that we had caught it in time. The flip side of that was nobody knew what was causing any of her problems. When we got a diagnosis, we didn't have a genetic diagnosis, we had a clinical diagnosis, and it was for a rare disorder. There was not a doctor in Mississippi that had a lot of experience with it. We didn't want Cate to be the guinea pig. We wanted her to see a doctor that specialized and that could give her the best care possible. So we went to Boston that summer.
When my little sister was younger and we first got diagnosed, it was really scary, and I kind of took it as like a death sentence, but it still is always so hard when you see the 17 vials of blood that your little sister just had to do that day, and she's just like, it is what it is.
She is super smart, she's creative, she's brave, but resilience is something that really comes to mind when I think of Cate.
I think you always hear people say that kids are resilient, and I think when you're dealing with kids who have rare disorders, they're sort of exceptionally so. I can remember when Cate was little and we would go in for a blood draw, she'd barely be walking, but she'd hop up on the stool and just throw her arm out for them to draw blood, you know, and then usually a kid is scared of needles or doesn't want to do anything, but it was so normal and so routine for her.
I have known Cate her entire life. I've gotten to be her teacher, though, this year for the first time, so that's special. She's so resilient. She is such a great student, and she's confident in the classroom, and she keeps up with all of her work.
Oh, Cate has a great attitude. She has got the happiest outlook on life. She comes in every day happy. She's kind to everybody, and that's one thing that stuck out to me as a student. Cate was that girl that loved everybody. She was kind to everybody. She was everybody's friend.
Coming to my church.
Come on, jump.
I'll say this, I think she had an intuition, because she kept saying, what if something's wrong? What if I have this?
When we got the new diagnosis in October, that was kind of a struggle.
It floored us again. It put us down on the bottom that we're starting all back over, that we could be at the end here. And, luckily through each other that we were able to pick it back up and get morale back up, and now we're just hoping to find the cure.
Jenny had told us at Christmas that Cate, for part of her Christmas list, was asking for things long-term to stay at a hospital, and that's not what a normal child should be asking for their Christmas list. I think things that normal kids take for granted, patients like Cate are put in a different situation and their needs become so different, whereas most kids have wants, there's become more needs, and it doesn't just affect Cate, it affects the whole family.
I joined the registry when we began to look for a donor for Cate. My uncle was actually a recipient of a stem cell transplant from leukemia, and I know how life-changing that has been for him.
Think about if it were you or if it was your family member, a simple swab not only can save someone's life, but can save a family's life and bring them back together and bring so much hope and joy into their life.
The process of joining is really easy. You get an envelope with some swabs, you swab your cheek, and that 5 minutes of participating in that join the registry really could save someone's life.
She wants to be like any other kid and have fun, but there are some things that she's not able to do because of her condition. She can't play all of the contact sports and do some of those things that require such physical exertion because of her condition. And there are so many others out there who also struggle and need our help. They need people to join the registry so that they have a chance at having a normal life, the kind of life that we all want, the kind of life we all want for our children. That's where joining the bone marrow registry could make a huge difference for not just Cate, but for anyone facing these types of conditions.
The more people who join the registry, another kid or me can find a donor so we can have a happy life and live healthy.